Before we start the show, I'd like to do about a 4-hour preamble.
Okay. Is this going to be the DoorDash story? Because really, I feel like this should be on the show.
Yeah, I want it to be on the show.
Okay.
So let me know when we're taping.
We're rolling.
We are rolling. Okay, so I hear a doggy. We've never had a doggy.
There's a dog drinking over there.
Yeah, and that's and I say my OCD is better. I say my ADD is better, and they go, "What's that dog drinking sound?"
Yeah.
It's a dog drinking. All right, so here's the thing. I wouldn't call myself a fuck up. Would you? You wouldn't call me a fuck up.
Not to your face.
Do you when you're okay? Let's say.
No. Let's go with no.
I've been around my family this week, and there's been a lot of talk.
If you open with that question, I kind of get a sense of where you're at.
I get the feeling, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I get the feeling that my family talks about each other behind our backs.
Of course.
I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's true. I just know that I have heard about every single person when I'm with someone else.
Sure.
And a couple of people I didn't get the negative down story on.
Right.
The other thing I found out was, just to let you know, good news and bad news. My nephew, who I love.
Yeah, I hope this is good news.
Discovered the show. I don't want that.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, that's a leak.
That's Bill. Yes. So here's the thing. I decided we have the greatest podcast in the world.
Okay, good.
For this reason. I don't have to worry. Like Bill was kind of saying, yeah, like I think he was being nice. I don't think he's going to stick with it.
Yeah. That's what, that's kind of how I always feel.
Because it's like.
It's a passing thing. Who has the time?
Yeah, many people want the opposite of this from me. In other words, they want to, hey, how's it going? Bing, bang, boom, and out in 4 minutes. Or maybe not to see me at all.
Well, but one of those two.
But yeah, certainly not.
4 minutes or none.
Well, but also it would be like they would want a podcast. They don't even listen to podcasts, some people.
Right.
So they certainly don't want a meandering podcast.
But when it's your uncle, it's a little more compelling. I think I have at least one nephew listener as well, but but I've never pretended to be anything else than a player of an open hand.
Well, no, I have found people like who do like it amongst my family. Like on my wife's side, there's people like, listen,
not
my
your
wife's
wife.
side,
not your wife, thankfully.
But the thing is, like for example, I want to be able to talk about my mother frankly.
Yeah,
and I just know this is perfect for that.
I think you have to. Regardless of
I'm not saying I pushed her down the stairs. I'm not saying I hit her.
Right.
But those unicorn stair things? The unicorn.
Are those the stair lifters?
Yeah. I put a sandwich on them a couple of days. It was hilarious. No, the only thing I did do was as she was coming up the stairs and right before she was going to turn around to see me, I pretended to be meditating on the tracks. She laughed at that.
Yeah.
Because we have a very funny ongoing joke in my
You could have tied a damsel in distress to them.
She would have gotten that. That would be her generation.
Yes.
But
she's 90.
She's 90. But one of the favorite stories of my family, which I think I've told you, is that one night after talking to my mother for a long time, and we walked upstairs and we had a great talk, and I was going to walk up to the third bedroom. She goes, I love you, Robert.
Ooh.
And we both laughed. We both laughed forever because it was very funny.
Because it was so painful. What else could we do?
No, because I don't think I know Robert's the favorite to her, maybe.
Sure.
But I don't care. I'm not trying to be her favorite.
Yeah.
Because
you acknowledge he's the best as well. So
what's that?
You acknowledge he's the best as well.
How can you fight with him? What are you going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, Andy, are you going to be able to provide me with help and everything I need? No. Andy, I need a new washing machine. Oh my God. I know how that feels.
Thus, I love you, Robert.
I love you, Robert. I love you, Robert, too. But here's the thing. There is a part of me that's like, I'll spring for the washing machine, but I normally will wait till the other people handle it.
Sure. You're a safety net.
I'm a safety net, but I don't really want to be. I treated for a couple of things this week, and I felt like a big shot.
Yeah.
So I treated for a whole meal. That was fantastic.
As opposed to part.
Well, I was up in. Okay, so let's not. I don't want to get. I won't.
Okay,
forget.
People, enough with the appetizers. This was my round.
No, I treated to the clam bar. But anyway, I'll get into that. But here's the thing. So today I had everything planned. And I woke up this morning. I knew I hadn't watched To Be or Not to Be.
Okay.
And I said, I had to my thing. To me, it was too late to cancel, but also I do like the idea that there's something we can talk about.
Uh-huh. Wow. Even after 9 days at your mom's house.
No, I have. That's stupid. Then I should have just said I don't need it. Right?
Well,
this would have been the week.
It doesn't matter. I'm glad you watched it.
Well. Also, I knew that we are literally starting this podcast the latest we've ever started it in a week. Like we've never recorded the.
Right. And it's Wednesday night.
Yeah, and it's not. I didn't get here at 9. I didn't get here at 9:05.
But tomorrow's 4th of July. I don't have to wake up, so it's all
right.
good.
But tomorrow
you have to wake up and poop.
I don't know if I have to wait. Okay, this is the thing. I realized today the only bad thing about me having a colonoscopy is that I hate colonoscopy humor.
Yeah.
So I can't even use it. I can't mind it.
Evacuation.
What's that?
It's breaking my heart.
What do you call it?
Evacuation.
See, not only do you have it in song form.
I'm riffing it, though.
But to me...
This morning I woke up and drank some goo.
That's the Wilburys, right?
Yeah.
That's a great song. You drank some goo. It's something called Clempit.
Is it small dose or large dose?
It's two bottles like that.
Okay. It's not like diluted with a gallon of water.
No, they say don't dilute it.
2 hours.
They say don't dilute it, although they say if you start to be dehydrated and collapse or something, you should contact. I don't worry about it.
If you start to get dehydrated and collapse, try to do it on the toilet.
Well, 2 p.m. tomorrow starts the actual evacuation plans.
Evacuation.
Oh my God, it's unbelievable. So you're saying that left to your own devices, you would be like Blazing Saddles on this podcast?
Not Blazing Saddles, but you know.
You just say you're comfortable. You're comfortable.
I'm fully comfortable.
Yeah. And I also think you like that I'm not comfortable with it.
Well, that's really I wouldn't go there otherwise. If you embraced it, it wouldn't be fun for me.
Well, like Bob Saget would do it when I work. It's not, I don't know if his name dropping when I say Bob Saget.
Yes.
But I did work with him. He was like bathroom every minute of the day.
Yeah.
I said, Bob, did you have some issues when you were a kid? He goes, obviously.
Of course. Yes.
Obviously, sure. So that's tomorrow.
Okay.
That's tomorrow. So
all right, we'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back.
I want to go back to Long Island.
Okay, we can do that.
You were there for like 8 or 9 days.
I got in last Tuesday, and the interesting thing, not that this is a theme of the show, but I go down to get my luggage at JFK, and I see the sign says Keith Morrison. So that's
then things took a turn.
What, dude? But he was that thing. He goes,
But was it Keith Morrison?
So I figure, don't say anything to Susan, but definitely try to notice him and see if you can. But she noticed him and did not tell me that she had seen him.
Right, because she was afraid of what you did.
Yes.
Wow.
Because I definitely would have walked up and said, "Hi, Josh Mankiewicz follows me. I follow him. I also enjoy." And the thing is, I like him.
Yeah.
But I can.
And he likes you.
Whoa. I don't know if he's added more mustard to the hot dog as the years have gone by.
Sure.
No.
Yeah. Once you see the impression of you, you can't help it.
Right. But it's not like. But I have warm feelings towards him. No, I don't. I don't know him.
But you like Dateline.
I like Dateline, and I love.
And therefore him.
Right. That's true. The only thing I don't like about Dateline is I don't like that guy. This is like I'm an old Jew now.
No, like now. You're finally there.
Now, who is that guy? The people who introduce it, I don't like that. Greg Melville.
I don't know.
Greg Melvin.
I don't know.
He yells.
Craig Melvin, I believe.
This is not the way. She thought it was
There is nothing more old Jew than I don't like that Craig Melvin.
I don't like that Craig Melvin. Yeah. That's so cold. I'm going to call him a so cold. And they do this thing where they introduce Mankiewicz and Morrison and there's a couple other people, but different
they don't
times.
matter. Yeah.
They're doing the work,
right?
And you're pretending. Do you think Lester Holt's really watching the show in the studio? And I hope
no, but you know what it is. It's something that Josh Mankiewicz doesn't have to do.
That's true. That is absolutely true. So I didn't get to see Keith Morrison, but it was just like, what a small world. I don't know what my argument is.
Wow. Yeah, New York. If it was Omaha, maybe.
But
the LA to New York flight. Who would think there would be a celebrity on that flight?
I know, that's the thing. I do, and here's the other thing. I walk on there looking left, right, left, right, left, right. I don't do that if I'm going from Cedar Rapids home.
Right.
But I
usually there's someone who played a casino, though, if you come home on a Sunday.
That's true. But here's the thing. You're really rich, you're really wealthy entertainers are not on the planes anymore, right?
Yeah, they are.
They are sometimes?
Yeah, sure. But they, there's like Virgin America.
Uh-huh.
Like they're very celebrity friendly.
Oh, you can enter the plane. No one even knows you're on the plane. I've been on when I've done that flight from JFK. Yeah,
there's always someone famous in first class, like Kelsey Grammer with his dogs out.
What is he? Is he barefoot? Is that what you mean?
No, his actual dogs are just sort of free to roam.
Okay, now have you heard him in person? Does he have the elitist voice?
He does have sort of. I worked with him on Later, and when I say worked with him, I did like a 2-minute sketch. I wrote for him once too, and talked to him on the phone. I wrote jokes for an appearance he was doing.
Hello, Josh. Hello, Josh.
No, it's not that.
Josh,
forced,
it's going to be a wonderful thing.
But it's
he's actually a very funny guy.
It's actor voice.
Yeah, I actually used to love Frasier. I can't watch it anymore. I used to think he was really funny, but then when he got, I don't know, recently, once I find out someone's a Republican, it's just like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, people always get, he was game for a sketch. I remember.
Oh yeah, I'm
sure. As I talk about it, I remember he was really tired that day, but he was still, and I gave him an out.
Oh, you said.
And he was still game to do it. It was mostly a sketch where he was the punchline, so everything else was happening, and then he was the.
Right. He
was the reveal, so it wasn't hard for him to do. But
do you always give people the out, or you just, depending on who it is, you want to give them the out?
Yeah, you always give them the out, because you don't want them to be hostile for the actual interview. Usually if they're game before they show up, but there's always. Yeah. Some people don't feel like it. Some people are very passive aggressive about it.
Yeah. Isn't that to me is the most fun to see?
Usually I would used to have an option for them if they didn't want to do that. If you don't want to do this cold open, hey, how about this bumper?
I rarely got to see a lot of pieces get shot. Like if I was on the show, sometimes they would be rehearsing someone, but I did notice that Bruce Willis is one of these guys who he's been around, and he's, hey, don't you want me in the 2-shot and the thing and the bring it around? So he definitely has a little bit of a let's make this happen situation.
Speaking of
Bruce Willis?
Speaking of late night TV, Greg Kinnear, and poop jokes, did you see the donkey thread I put?
I couldn't watch it because I'd be afraid to watch it. Does it look like it's spraying diarrhea at one point?
Yeah, like a fire hose.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you colorize it or something?
No.
Oh, by the way, I love your album cover.
Broadcast it on NBC, for God's sakes.
I don't know.
Put it on Twitter.
I don't know, but you know that I'm skittish about it.
I do.
Do you think I'd laugh at that part?
It's pretty funny.
And everyone loved that part.
That's the money.
Oh, by the way, congratulations. Your album is out.
It is not. Well, it'll be out this week. It's still on pre-sale at the beginning of
pre-sale.
This week. This Friday, the 12th, it'll be delivered to
I was very happy with
all of you who pre-order. You do like the cover.
I like the cover. I like it. I very much like the cover because it's just a cool thing, I think, with the thing. And here it is. I'm presenting my stuff to you.
Yeah, it makes me very happy, too.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad you approved the non-existent changes I made.
And now that's the thing that made me a little bit steamed. That had to get me a little bit, right? Here's what you say to me. First of all, he goes, all right, when you sent it to me, I swear to God, I saw it at a smaller scale, at least.
Okay.
And so the whitefish did not look like whitefish. And then I said, wow, it really looks, so I'm trying to make a smooth out, right? Oh, I see it now with the regular thing. And I like it. And you go, yeah, well, it's exactly, this is my thing, exactly the one I sent before. So good. Good, stupid. Good, stupid. Glad you came around, dummy. You didn't say that. That's what I heard.
Well, I can't say there wasn't an undertone of that, but that wasn't my real point.
Yeah, but it's still
my
fun.
My real point was you were acting like I had made some adjustments to it, and now I was like, didn't I?
Well, I did. You did make some adjustments in the sense that the smaller scale, I couldn't see the whitefish.
Oh, okay.
So next time, I need you to send me what are my specifications? I always say when you send me something by Dropbox.
Bigger than a cue card, you say.
I wish I knew what to say. They used to say, I need 900 by 600 shekels.
So pre-order or order, depending on what time of the week you're listening to this, my album, Chunks.
Very exciting.
Elvis Weinstein, Chunks.
Have you? You don't know you don't know what you've sold, right?
Don't.
They won't even tell you that.
No, I'm sure they won't. But I'm happy the ball's rolling.
Only a Jew like me would be wondering already. I said, how'd you do? Because I'm still thinking, I want to find out how you do before I finish mine from 5 years ago.
6.
2013?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You know what? Some things are better left unreleased. Like my sperm. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's the new. I'm going to go blue and they say, shouldn't have done that. So I was there for one solid week in New York.
One solid week. And so you stayed at your mom's the whole time?
I stayed at my mom's the first 2 nights.
Okay.
And then I went, and my mom is doing extremely well. It's just amazing how well she's doing.
Excellent.
So in April and May,
Did she make any declarations about any of her ailments by any chance?
No, she's not. What do you mean? Is she like a whiner, you think, or? She mentioned we were eating, right?
Yeah.
And I said, how's everything? Because she's like, I'm Parkinson's.
Thank you, for fuck's sake.
I got Parkinson's. Yeah, I thought the whining was me. My mother's got Parkinson's.
It was, but we've morphed.
My mother.
Yeah, I got Parkinson's.
My mother's got Parkinson's. She's a Quaker.
Yes, that's where it started.
My mother's a Quaker. She could die. My mother's going to, in fact, when she dies, I'm going to contact you immediately. Now, here's a joke. I don't know if I told you I did this joke.
I don't know.
Do you feel, since you've lost both parents, or that you've lost any parents, I feel that I'm now qualified to make inappropriate jokes about death, about my own death.
Well, that makes them appropriate then, doesn't it?
But that's what's that?
That makes them appropriate, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
So I
think any human has a right to make death jokes.
Right. So I went to Calgary, and my friend Evan Wilson booked me into it. I've known him. He used to do the show Am I Right? He was a young kid. He was 14. I pulled him up from his thing. So when we did this Calgary gig, I said my mother was not doing well in April or May. I said, yes, and so I said, yeah, I will be there unless, and she goes, well, of course, he says, if something God forbid something happens. So I get to the Calgary, and he says, how's everything going? And I'm talking. I go, oh, I forgot to tell you, my mother died earlier today. I forgot to tell you. And he's like, I said, don't you remember we talked about this a month ago? He did not remember that we talked about it a month ago. And he has both parents who are alive.
Yeah.
And no one in the car, except that we started to make those jokes as the weekend went on.
Right.
We all got into the swing of things.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say that
it wasn't good what I did.
No, there was no.
You think it wasn't funny enough?
It wasn't funny.
Enough? Yeah, but here's the thing that I thought was funny about it. Would I really mention to somebody, oh, I forgot to tell you my mother died earlier. We were talking about a month ago. She died earlier today. But that would have been funnier. It's not funny at all.
No. Could have been a way.
But that wasn't the way.
Well, here's the way you could have done it.
Okay.
Remember how I said I wouldn't be here if something happened to my mother?
Yeah.
Well, my mother died this morning, and I decided I'll do the podcast anyway.
It wasn't a podcast. It was a whole festival.
Whatever. Okay. Fill in the blank.
I think this could have been funnier. You know, we talked about my mother the other month?
Yeah.
She didn't make it. Oh. It's not funny either. There's nothing about my mother expiring that's funny.
Yeah.
Except all the antique dolls Mr. Kindler's going to get in the settlement. All I do when I visit my mom is say, how attached to you are you to that valuable antique over there?
Yeah.
Boom, sign a release, bang.
A release?
I don't know. I'm worried. Well, anyway, the party was fun too. We did the party.
And what was the nature of the party?
Okay, so my brother made up all these like cups, and it was cool. He made up like cookies with my mom. My mom was hot.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever said that.
Okay.
So I apologize. My mom was beautiful when she got married.
Yeah.
Then forget about it. A year in, nothing.
Right.
And my dad was like to me, he looks like a movie star. He looks like Raymond Burr, which people go, well, he's not that attractive, but he
was in fact a movie star. Technically, you got him.
But wouldn't you say a young Raymond Burr had those like sleepy bedroom eyes? He looked kind of cute. That's what my dad looked like, but more. Look, I have an ugly family. Why bury the lead? My family was forced to wear head coverings.
Yeah.
Get it? Head coverings. In France, we visited France, they told us we had to wear the burqa. So we had it at her house, and then I also went to Montauk for a couple of days, where I treated for a meal, like a big shot.
Okay.
And we had so much fun. Both places.
Montauk is beachy?
Montauk is like, Montauk is not that far from where, it's 2 hours, but really 3 hours in the middle of all the summer thing. And it's absolutely.
2 hours from Manhattan or 2 hours?
2 hours from my house in Queens.
Okay. In Queens you're at, okay.
Yeah, so the tip is like to the tip of the island.
All right.
And it's just beautiful out there. And we were partying, we drank. I drank some martinis, or not martinis, but fake martinis.
Martinis.
We were Susan filmed us dancing and singing. We sang. It was just like, it was really, we did let our hair down for the Kindlers.
Nice.
And that was good. And my mom enjoyed it. But after 8 days, I really could feel I had a grinding headache.
Yeah. Because you drank martinis.
I think it's the anxiety. I'm more conscious of the anxiety, and it reminds me of the anxiety.
Sure.
So, but Susan was great. Susan was great.
And what was I'm sorry, I have to go back just for
the theme.
What were the little bowls your brother made?
All right, so he made.
We got derailed when your mom was hot.
He made this. Emily, my niece, she made a beautiful book of photographs, some of them Susan's, but just like a whole bunch of photographs of my mother, and put it into like a book form.
Nice.
And that was nice because I was like, who the hell is the guy with the Hitler mustache? That's Uncle Fred.
It's Hitler. Turns out.
Hey, that comes with the theme.
Yes.
I am so thrilled. I feel like this movie was made for me.
I kind of did too.
Oh my, I feel like I wrote this movie.
I didn't get to go that far because I enjoyed it.
Jesus, why couldn't you put me in the level with an Ernest Luch? Luch. So, what was I saying? Mother,
book.
All right, so that was that. And then we had a mug. It's 2 mugs. It says Joan Kindler 90th, and my brother put peace because it's the Quakers. So that was great.
I would have gone and get a look at this mug with a picture of her.
My other mug is a shaker. Quaker. Like, maybe we should have had more like just insult stuff. The only thing is my brother said that I was going to do a toast. I think he's playing with my head.
Yeah.
Because I prepared it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to do the toast.
No, you could have asserted the toast, couldn't you?
I know, but it would have been
I think people think when you're a comedian, you're going to assert yourself.
Then I was glad that I didn't in a way because what's the point of it? Right. But I think I could have said something that would have scored points with my mom.
Yeah.
That would have been good. And a lot of friends came over, like I haven't seen in a long time. And Quakers, not friends that I recognize, but the Quakers I like to see.
Aren't they all called friends?
No, yeah. But then there were people also who were involved with the Queens Historical Society. Don't kid yourself. There were Queens Historical Society people there.
Right. Did you know all the family was set here?
What's that? What are you doing there?
That was my impression of the Queens Historical Society.
You know, my mom was she's the person who got the ballot.
You know, Carol O'Connor actually came here once.
You see that row of houses at the beginning of the show?
That's it. Wait, it.
Let me take it. Do you want me to take you there?
They painted, but that's it.
Now, a lot of people don't know that this was Silver Cup was a bakery. Yeah, I think it was. So, and then that was it. So, did I cover everything? I've been exhausted. I flew back.
Well, but your first thought walking in the door was, am I a fuck up? So what made you feel like a king fuck up?
Well, but I get worried, even though there's some, and there could be some surprises happening on the podcast that we're going to announce now. Or we should?
I don't know. What are you talking about? Oh.
Keep that under our...
If you want to, I don't care. We can at least tease that we want to do it.
Josh, I'm not just dropping names because I like to drop names, but I do like to drop names.
You do.
Josh Mankiewicz, he direct messaged me. He goes, I would love to be on your podcast. Now, this was not, at first I thought, is he doing Andy?
And this sounds like a Kindler bit as you're telling it, but it's true.
And it sounds like an Andy Levy bit, where Andy Levy would constantly say, when am I scheduled?
Right.
And I said, we don't have guests. But, screw Andy Levy. Now I got Josh Mankiewicz in my DMs. I don't really mean screw Andy Levy, but I thought it was funny.
Right.
So he says, I'd love to be in your podcast, and then I contacted you. I don't do anything without contacting you.
I appreciate that. Keep that going.
Yeah. And then and then I say, well, we don't normally have guests, but we'd love to have you. And he goes, well, I don't want to upset the apple cart, which kids used to say in 1958, but it would be great. So
I think we should do a show because he's a perfect guest for us.
Yes.
In many ways. One, because he knows what he's dealing with.
Yeah. Do you think he's listened to? I think he's listened to the show.
I don't know if he has or not, but he likes us both.
Right.
I've had lunch with him.
You knew him before. Do you think you greased the wheels?
I hope so. I hope so.
So do I. But why would you have to grease?
I don't think I'd have to. I think he's a comedy fan, and I think you're his flavor.
He's also I think he's funny.
No, I think it'll be great because you'll be interested in the murder and I'm interested in everything else. And it'll be fine.
Well, I like the show.
I'm just trying to decide. I'm thinking maybe we should get like a back room at the Palm or something for atmosphere.
Well, he always talks about
we serve hot drinks for men who want to get drunk fast, and we don't need characters around to give the joint atmosphere.
What's that from?
It's from It's a Wonderful Life.
There are more lines from It's a Wonderful Life that you have left
now,
off
do you
the side?
get me, or do I have to slip you my left as a convincer?
Is that the mean bartender?
That's Sheldon Leonard, yeah.
But there's a bartender who's very mean.
Yeah, Sheldon Leonard.
Sheldon Leonard, who created all the sitcoms?
Yes, same guy.
He was in This Wonderful Life, you're saying?
Indeed.
As this
bartender. Now, where do you get off calling me a sitcom creator? See, I'm mixing the two.
You said that I would.
Out you two pixies go, through the door, out the window.
I've seen that. I remember those lines. I'd like to see It's a Wonderful Life more.
I'll show
and other
it to
things
you.
less. So he DM'd me, and then so that's the big surprise.
All right. Well, sometime this summer we will make this happen.
Yes, and so today I got back, and I know that.
And I know we said Joel Madison would be our first guest.
Forget it.
But he stopped listening.
You know what? Do you think he stopped listening?
Yeah, mostly.
I even 3 months later followed up on something that he requested that I do.
Yeah, well, maybe sometime
3 months later
on a transatlantic flight he'll catch up.
And he was pretty funny. I texted him my new phone number, which people don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it.
I do, but not by heart.
And he goes, I'll make a note of it. I don't know why that made me laugh. I'll make a note of it. Yeah, that's the point.
Right.
Isn't it you're supposed to change the very text that's coming in. But, so what happened was I got home last night and the plane was late, a little bit late. So we got home at like 10:30. I knew we were going to do this today. This would be the latest we've done it. And so I had everything planned. I signed up for the Criterion Channel this morning.
Beautiful.
And I watched the movie and then I had everything planned. I was, going around, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And then Susan came, I ran my errands, got the mail, and then I was going to order from the delivery people. This thing, I was perfect because I can't eat after midnight.
Okay.
So I ordered it at 7:30. The place is 3 blocks from my house, as you can attest.
I don't know which place, but
okay,
sure.
But it's across, forget it. It's so close. I could have gotten it myself, but I was trying to save time to finish my chores before the movie.
Italian?
No, it was a burger.
Okay.
It's a kosher burger.
Okay.
And something happened. And they kept, and the thing is, I am the last person, actually to my detriment. I don't ever complain about anything. Like no, food.
What
I'll give you an example. We were in New York and we ordered from the deli and they said, oh, extra rye bread. They never sent it. And then my sister wanted the rye bread, so they brought it later.
Yeah.
That's not something I would do. Have the rye bread come later. Would you do that? Get it over here right now. That's not the way she talked, but she had the rye bread delivered.
Right.
I complain to you, and I'm a sniveling coward of some kind.
Right. You don't want the confrontation involved.
I don't want the confrontation.
The rye bread.
But I started to get a little upset because I don't like the lying.
Yeah.
Like it's ordered. I ordered at 7:30. It came at 9, and it wasn't what I ordered.
Yeah.
There were no fries.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even the burger I ordered. I think
you're going to get a DoorDash credit.
Maybe, but then someone from DoorDash called up halfway through. They go, is this from, and we don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Is she someone's kid? Do they not invest money in having because I kept saying, but can you make it? I have an appointment. The Dasher says. And then they just kept lying about when I was going to come. Your Dash will be there 8:40.
Yeah.
So
we've all been there, friend.
I know.
And none of us has been able to manage to get a good story out of it.
Neither have I.
My point.
But wait a second. When have I ever had a good anecdote? I mean, I don't tell good anecdotes.
That's why you drop so many names. You're trying to spice them up.
Andy Richter mentioned that to me. Buster Keaton's daughter. I thought, I came in here and I thought I've had nothing but stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Because I went to New York what'd you do while I was celebrating my mother's 90th birthday?
I did all sorts of shit, Andy. I did a set at the Improv Lab.
I retweeted it.
Thank you very much.
Wait.
It didn't work. I can fully attest that it didn't help at all.
Did they cancel it or is it 4 people?
No, they should have. No, it was 8 people.
Right.
Until the guy before me went on and decided to jump the light by about 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. Is this someone we can talk to?
And then there was 2 people when I went up.
That's not nice.
No, it was fucked up.
Was it a famous person like Adam Sandler?
No, he was acting like he was, but it was not a person I had heard of.
Oh, and did you? Someone should say something, but no one ever does.
Well, it's like, what am I going to do? He went over. But it was one of those things where it was like, she gave me a set. It was just simply because I sent in my avails. She's like, hey, do you want to do a later set on Saturday? Like, sure. Of course, I didn't want to do a later set on Saturday.
Right.
In the lab or even in the big room, really, because I'm old and I get nothing out of doing a set for disinterested people late at night. But of course I said yes, because I want her to then give me better sets.
Right. You don't want to be difficult.
Right. But I dreaded it all day. I dreaded it from the second I said yes. So there was 2 days of like low level dread. And then I woke up early on Saturday morning at like 7. I'm like, okay, only fucking 18 hours till I got to go to work. And the whole day it was just like, oh God, why did I say yes? I'm not going to get anything out of this.
I thought I'm the only person who agonizes if I have to do something.
Well, and especially right now, it's like so I had to write material, so I had stuff to work on. Because I didn't even have a mission really.
When you called in, why'd you want the set?
It was just to stay in the rhythm of asking for sets and not getting them.
For a couple of weeks there, I thought that she was writing a message just to me.
Really?
Because she said hey, what's going on? I thought, that's nice.
Yeah.
But everyone gets that same one. So, how was your week been? Like that.
So yeah. So I didn't want to do it. And then it became the most worthless it could be by having 2 people
Were there 2 people literally or just
literally 2 people left after this guy's. So I was cranky after that.
Were you I see, but I would be cranky.
Tired.
I'd be cranky during it.
I was cranky during it. Although I did have sort of a fun riff on that turned into a joke that you'll be able to use in our upcoming speech.
Oh.
But I had a funny riff about I mean it started with just talking about working in the lab late one night and then did a Monster Mash riff. I'm like, no Bobby Boris Pickett fans here. What if you woke up one morning and nobody knew who Bobby Boris Pickett was? You haven't heard? Cut to me going to the internet. Picket fence? Wilson Pickett? He never existed. Cut to me in a stadium doing Monster Mash. What song do you have next? I have no idea.
Did you do that for the two people?
I did. I just went for
danger. Now, you notice we haven't had any meeting. I think we're writing separately this year because...
No, I'm going to propose that we have some meeting because I want to quiz you.
Okay.
To get some more of your stances on people and things so I can write jokes.
Yeah. Now, this week I went after... And so it felt so good.
You went Ricky Gervais.
Now, here's the thing.
Fun time this week.
When I was in New York... And I don't want to whine like I normally do, but whenever I'm feeling the pressure of a family thing or whatever, I all of a sudden start to get that old feeling about Twitter. So some of it I know is not good, but like, whatever, like Bernie Sanders started getting on my nerves. I don't know, there's something weird about the family and then me trying to run away from it. But the thing with Ricky Gervais has brought me such great delight because he had made he's a guy.
I don't know what was his. There was something controversial that started.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is in a nutshell.
Okay.
He heard about this thing, Antifa, like this guy, and his name is Andy NGO. And so Andy NGO is a member of this. I don't even know. They call him a journalist, but he's a right wing guy, and so. There was a whole thing that they throw a milkshake on him because Antifa, some of the Antifa people, they see a Nazi and they'll punch him and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but then it turned out that the police just someone told them, I think they're putting cement in the milkshakes. Pass it on.
Okay.
And the police started to put that story out. Looks like quick. And so so while this is going on, a lot of Ricky Gervais's base is now alt-right people because he hates Muslims, he hates religion, and he's attracted a lot of these people. So somehow he heard about the milkshake thing, and so he had to weigh in on it. Well,
they love him most because he's sort of the human. He's like the one famous troll, kind of like the one Hollywood troll.
Yeah, but he sticks up for animals, which is great.
Sure.
He got himself, here's what he got trapped into. He read the article, he bought the article, he bought the article at face value. He's from England. And he's rich. He doesn't care. He doesn't know about politics. Right? So he doesn't know. So he's thinking, hey, from the right to the left, I don't like it with the violence. And the truth is that's just propaganda. If you compared how many white supremacists violence there. So he was just buying into the ridiculous right-wing Breitbart News, which even featured him saying, Ricky Gervais gives it to the left. So he doesn't, because he can't admit that he's wrong, he just makes a fool out of himself. And that's the part I like.
Right.
Because I think he's getting worse and worse. And why can't he just say, I didn't know too much about it? But I love when he tries to wriggle out of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. I got the upper hand. All I'm saying is it's the greatest moments of my life. I'm back, baby.
Oh, no.
I'm back. No, I don't mean back like that.
I have to change a joke then, too.
Why?
Because I wrote a joke.
About Gervais?
Yeah.
Why can't we use it?
Because it's about you not battling with Ricky Gervais anymore.
We'll see. I mean, the thing is that
here's the joke. The joke is I don't want to have any beefs anymore with Ricky Gervais because I just realized we're completely the opposite. I was a monster who became funny.
I can do that joke and unload on him. That's so great. That's exactly what's happened because. Did you ever listen to his podcast back when it was? Everyone knows the joke you were going to say, right?
Huh?
You said the joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone knows Carl Pilkington and the.
Yeah. I guess.
I used to love that when I used to love him, I used to love that podcast about where he'd make fun of Carl Pilkington. But now as it goes along, you realize he really is the bully. The original. And the other thing is, he retweets his own sites like Ricky Gervais Trivia. If you were a rich celebrity, would you retweet, hey, Netflix paid $12 million for the first one. They're paying the exact same amount for the second one. And then they're going to pay 2 more for 2 more. Who announces that?
Right. No one does.
No one does.
Well, Ricky Gervais.
Does. So, that part I love. I love the, what do you call that? Blind spot or just greed? Pure greed.
Well, narcissism. Braggadocio, it's Trumpism.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's not much different than Trump.
No, he's not.
So don't vote for him is what I'm basically saying. So that was it. And I tried to weigh in a little bit. I'm not going to, I know where I'm not going to go. Okay. I don't care though I know everybody's scared of these Bernie people. I don't care about them, but I can't, Bernie's not going to win.
No, Bernie's not going to win.
And he deserves not to win.
That probably.
You're not backing me up, but you.
Well, no, it's not like I'm worried about the blowback. I think there's people representing the same set of values way better and in a way more attractive way than Bernie at this point.
And that's true. And so I was.
What was your takeaway from the debates?
Well, I didn't see some of it. No, I saw it all, but I didn't see it. I had to see some when they repeated it. I just thought Kamala Harris was. I thought that Kamala Harris was so great. I've always kind of liked her. I'm not saying I'm in all the way.
Yeah.
But she was so great and she was so effective. And I think all of the blowback against her is really wrong because Joe Biden says, I talked about these guys and it's out of context. Well, then explain what the context was.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's my point with Biden is that, okay. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. In terms of his motivation for all of it. But the fact that he wasn't able to convey this idea of what he was trying to say in a way that everyone could get it without getting angry, sort of speaks to the weakness of Joe Biden.
Well, I had heard him talk about it on some other show where he was saying like,
he never got it out well.
But I could see where he was like, well, he called me boy, or he called me. There was something else to that joke.
Well, yeah, but the simple point was this. Sometimes you have to work with people you disagree with completely.
Right.
To the most extreme example is I had to work with segregation,
Yeah. When did you have to work with segregation?
Well, it happened back at Mr.
But why would
Science
you be in the field like that?
Well.
Bop, bop, bum, bop, 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 Abbott and Costello, go, boom, zing. But I'm willing to give him a chance. I never loved him as a president.
never loved him as a thinker.
Great vice president.
I think he's a great politician, but he's an insurance salesman.
That's how it feels to me.
That's how he plays to me.
And he's living in the insurance.
I don't think I just think there are bigger brains in the race. I think both Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren are bigger brains. I think Pete Buttigieg is a bigger brain.
Yes.
I think Bernie's a bigger brain than Biden, but I think, I just don't think Bernie is, Bernie's losing steam.
I think they have similarities because.
But I think Bernie was, I think Bernie's effect is absolutely felt in this election.
That's true. That's true. But also negative effects because he hated Obama for some reason.
Yeah.
And I don't think he gave Obama credit for how much Obama, because this is my problem with that. And I'll just know that there's not too far to go with it, but just saying Medicare for all and then saying any other way to get to coverage is silly to me.
Right.
Especially when they do these polls and people say, they don't want to. If you work and part of your teacher or you're working in a thing where part of your deal is you get good medical coverage, you might not be that crazy about giving up that medical coverage. So already people are like, I don't want to give it. I mean, it's like they haven't made the argument yet about why it has to be this one way for 300 million people.
Right. No, I think you're much smarter talking about a public option being available to everybody.
Yes. Yeah. And not putting down the people who don't, because Bernie's big into sign on to my revolution.
Yeah.
I can't figure out if it's the Bernie himself or the people
But I really think Elizabeth Warren is just as revolutionary as Bernie, but she comes along
more palatable.
Well, even if she's not.
More ideas
and more levels of thought to those ideas.
Yeah, there's a little bit of.
And, the thing that I judge every candidate by is, are you becoming a better candidate as you go?
Right.
Hillary never did because she had peaked out at her political powers had peaked out.
Yeah,
4 years or 8 years earlier.
Even though she should have won on an even playing field.
Yeah, for sure.
She still never.
It's not me saying, it's not me saying this isn't a Hillary blew it thing. It's
no.
Just the arc of her career is such that there weren't more skills that she was going to gain. Seemingly,
not a great speech.
John Kerry never got better as a candidate during his run.
And I love him.
But I've watched both. I've watched all three of the so-called second tier. I've watched Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Pete Buttigieg all get better as they go. And that to me is a sign, it's like a TV show. It has to get better in the first season for it to.
Well, let's eliminate some people. Let's eliminate some people. Okay. I know you love Marianne and William. Here's what's so funny. My brother's wife. I went into her room, and she had a Marianne Williamson book there. Right.
Yeah.
She couldn't believe because she wasn't following it for a couple of weeks. She couldn't believe. She's like, I like Marianne Williamson. She couldn't believe she was running for president.
Right.
She said, I said, she's good as a new age writer. Sure.
Yeah, no, within her lane, she's fine.
But she was terrible.
She was awful.
I don't think Rick Swalwell helped himself. What's his name?
Eric Swalwell.
Yeah. No. I never thought he was going to.
No.
And you have to.
Well, his whole thing is my generation, but he doesn't play like that. He's not Alex Cortez.
Who's Alex Cortez?
Alexandria Cortez.
Oh.
Or Ocasio-Cortez.
To me, I have no tolerance at all to even discuss people. Anybody who's putting her down or that Ilnar lady, they're just using racism. And it's like, she's a commie. It's like, I don't even, it's like this is the Republicans' playbook is so transparent.
I don't know. I know Jews in Ilhan Omar's district who are pretty offended by.
Well, they can kiss my Jewish ass. If they don't want to accept, well, I don't know. Look, don't hold me to facts. I'm just saying that, no, regardless of whether you like what she said or not, they were going to target her because she's Muslim.
Sure.
And that's bullshit.
I agree. I'm with you.
Look.
So I think, as far as I'm concerned, you can eliminate 10 very easily.
All right, so let's eliminate them.
Marianne Williams. We don't need to.
Okay. So who's left?
Who's left on my book? The only person who came out of the debates higher in my esteem going in was Julian Castro.
Oh, that's good.
I think he scored well on the first night. He showed that he.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to make it to the next tier, but he was the only guy who I felt better about after that debate than before.
See, I always
Kamala Harris I was actually kind of already on board with in terms of what she showed against Biden. I kind of believed that was always there, so I wasn't like, well, look at her.
Well, that's the thing, too. I happen to be reading about busing. And when I say I was reading about it, I don't mean like Ricky Gervais when he lies that he's an expert goes, I've studied history and this. You've studied nothing. But I was reading about busing, and even there were problems with people who were in favor of integrating the schools. There were some problems with you could have an argument against the way the busing was implemented.
Absolutely.
But Joe Biden wasn't just like, I was the vice president. I did this. I did the other thing.
Right. And again, unable to explain it on his feet.
Right.
Unable to go, well, not just I was against the Department of Education mandatory busing because people don't understand the issue.
He shouldn't have run. Should have run last time. I didn't even want to run last time. But if he was going to run when Obama's going out. Why did he not get in last time? Oh, because Hillary was. I don't know whether he's out. I'm willing to accept he could come back in. I just don't think he has it though.
Biden?
Biden's got it's just like
well, he's going to hold, I think he's going to hold on to good numbers for a while, but the gap's going to close and it's going to come out of his,
Yeah. It's very,
I really do. I do believe it's really like, there's so much fear of not beating Trump that everyone is, everyone's sort of primal thing is going, it's got to be a white man because that's the only way this country is going to do its thing,
Yeah.
I'm not racist, but this country is, Well,
I heard people who were, quote, liberals, kind of liberals who actually bother me, and I'm on the left, but they were like, when Obama was running, I remember like these friends who, they're very smart, but they're very like, they're like, oh yeah, the only way the Democrats can't win in 2008 is if they nominate a black guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, I think the conventional thinking is almost always bullshit, as we can tell from pundits.
Right.
Because that's all they crank out.
Well, but it's there is a weird, very rarely do you have such a sense of like, there's a huge percentage of voters, and I guess this is always true, that are just going to vote for who the nominee is. But,
True.
But I would say even more so, there's that sentiment of, God let him be good, but I'm voting for him no matter who it is.
Of course.
So
Yeah. I might vote for Trump, though, under certain circumstances. Like, for example, if I thought the economy was doing good. Josh, could you please admit he's done good with the economy? Josh, are you listening to me? Josh, look, be reasonable, Josh. I would vote for Trump against somebody like... God, I can't do characters. Do you know I can't do characters?
I just thought there might be a name at the end of the
character.
Yes.
Mr. Weinstein, come into this. I just want to let people know I'm working on this. With some new bits.
Excellent.
Mr. Weinstein, I am incensed. You never write any Mr. Weinstein bits.
No, I don't.
So why are you complaining? Why is there's a part of me, I think it's in my family. It's got to be, my family's biggest problem is it has to be someone's fault.
Right.
And it is so ingrained so deeply that whenever something happens, we're going to be late for my mom's sandwich, who can we pin the blame on? That can't be true of every family. That's got to be something that was...
Well, it was something that my parents talked about others in the family.
Right.
I remember my dad would be step one, assign blame.
Oh, about others, but what was he like?
No, but they weren't.
Yeah, that's good. That's why you're so healthy.
No, I agree.
It really is. I gotta tell you, this whole thing of my mother and father were like, great. That's just great.
Right.
Whatever it was.
The only scar I really carry from childhood with my parents was about my weight. My mom just couldn't figure out a way to deal with it healthily.
You never brought that up before.
I think I probably have, but
Why was that?
Because it was like her father's biggest issue with her.
Cool.
So she was trying so hard to not give me shit about it that she just went all,
Oh, she was trying to be nice.
She was trying to be nice, but trying to get me to lose weight. But it was,
which is not ever going to work.
Her psychology tools were not.
Don't you think?
Give me
an example of some of her methods.
It would. Usually there would be some kind of bribe. There would be either sort of, there was sort of two levels to it. There would be like, if you do this, I'd be happy to do this for you.
Oh, I see.
And then there would be this everything. There was the underlying thing of everything in your life will be great if you just lost weight.
Right. You'll feel it.
Right. And it wasn't that I felt like she loved me less because of it.
Right.
I never did feel that, but I did realize early on that it was her issue,
That's pretty profound.
I gave up on the premise that it was going to solve all my problems. It still was a big issue for me, and it still defined my self-image, I think, but not, but mostly just as it related to girls. Like, I had confidence sort of in the world regardless of being a fat kid, I wasn't picked on for being a fat kid. I was a more dominant personality than that,
In general, it's way harder for women, I think.
Oh, I think so, for sure.
But it still must have been hard for you, because anything that gets into the part where they're appealing to your, either the society says, because that's what my friend Sophie wrote that book, Happy Fat. She tells you about how society has set it up.
Right.
It's like she said, when she was 21, and because for the first 22 years, she just tried to lose, like, I'm going to be thinner and everything. So like when she said, when Dr. Phil's son came out with a diet book, she like high-fived her friend. Right. It's like, so she spent all that time buying into what this industry was saying. and then she had a breakthrough and that changed. Right. But it definitely is the Rolling Stones song, because I don't smoke the same cigarette, I can't get no satisfaction. I mean, that really is kind of what they were. What can I bring it? You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't need this. The people can't see it at home, but I can see it in your eyes. I don't need this. I mean, I don't have anything else, but I don't need this.
I think I could probably describe what my face did. First, it was, it's like that. It's exactly like that song "Satisfaction" you said. So my face went, I wonder how. And then you went, you smoke cigarettes, and I went, oh, he doesn't actually have a theory of why it's like
because
this.
You hate the other guy who doesn't smoke the same cigarette as you.
Yeah.
Like if you don't smoke Marlboro or something like that is the argument.
Right.
I don't like what's going on here. No. Okay, let's go. I think I can recover.
Okay, I think you can bounce back.
Well, here's the thing. Anything that, like, for example.
For me, I mean, watching those tapes of myself as a teen stand-up last month, it was like, no, clear. I had adjusted. I was using it to my advantage. I was using it to make people think I was 25 instead of 17.
Right.
And so clearly, I had found a way to be confident and fat simultaneously.
It's when it really does get into this that whether your parent was intending to do this or just happened to be because of the way it happened. But when it's like, I'm a piece of shit if I don't get this together,
right? That's
not good. And that's the message I got, which I'm very much overcoming now. But it took me so many years to figure out that was the thing. It's like, you just saying, I think, because I don't write like Stephen King for a lot of years. Right. I'm a lazy fucking, writers love to write and I'm a lazy asshole. So you may say that you've been with me for a while and I am a lazy asshole, but it's not going to help me to say I'm a lazy asshole. It just doesn't help. That voice never helps. No. Do you feel the negative voice? You don't have it to that degree anyway. So like you kick yourself in the ass, you're not really getting into your ass.
It's once in a while I'll go down the you suck trail, but in general, I absolutely see myself as underachieving on probably 50% of the days.
So do you feel like?
But I don't berate myself about it. It's more of a low self-loathing hum, But I don't, overall, I'm not negative,
right?
I'm not that positive, but I'm pretty neutral. I pretty much take information at face value. So when I find myself in a really negative place, and that could be directed either inwardly or outwardly, I try to find a way to shift out of it, because it makes me so unhappy to be unhappy, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I don't have a warm, shitty place to go, like so many people do,
Which is a Chris Bliss line. I don't know if it is or not. You told me it was. It's not a line.
It came, I think, from his acting coach, actually.
Oh. I didn't know Gordon Jump was... Is that a good reference?
Sure.
He used to teach cold reading workshops.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. You thought Artie Johnson was dead last week too, right? Didn't you think he was?
I didn't have an opinion on it.
I thought Frank was doing a sarcastic thing.
No, he died today, and you made him die.
It's ridiculous.
The last time he was mentioned dead in public was by you taking a shot out of him.
You know when people say you're dead to me? I thought he was.
Right. Okay.
So how old was he?
90.
My mother's 90.
I mean, 90.
Oh, I enjoy this. I'm starting to enjoy myself on this show.
Excellent.
I love this show now. But that's wrong. I love it all. No, I don't. Here's the problem. I know my expectations are what get me all the time. Because a lot of times I'll come in and go, well, I did write down what happened every day. Well, that's not going to necessarily mean it's going to be a good show.
Right.
So let go of the goddamn expectations. I think I'm more comfortable that it's just, I'm not reinventing the wheel, although I do have some ideas.
Right. Well, that's why they're test shows, Andy.
I can't believe it. You told me you tried to trademark that. I did see the best Columbo. I am now addicted to the Columbos. I'm taping all of them. But I saw a Columbo that if you had been on acid and you didn't know what was going to happen, you'd think it was a trip. Because all of a sudden, he's with Little Richard. He's bopping to Little Richard, and then he has a scene with Little Richard. It's just so great.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And he really was like, I guess that show, I don't know what I'm saying, but I like to see Little Richard acting.
Yeah. I met Little Richard on Later.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
How was he performing?
I think he played something, yeah. But he had a headache. Oh, I have a headache. Oh, can you give me some aspirin? And yes, I did. I went and got some aspirin.
Well, so he was nice.
He was nice. But
I love Little Richard.
He wasn't in a good mood, but he was still.
Yeah.
He wasn't pleasant because he was in a bad mood, but he wasn't rude.
No, and he definitely
polite.
does have a little bit of I invented everything. He says he invented everything.
Yes.
That's how we know.
Yes.
But he's also hugely talented, so you can't get mad at him that much.
Yeah. I am the architect of headaches.
That actually could set us up for the movie, but we don't have to get into the movie.
I think we can go to the movie.
Because Jack Benny...
Let's go to the movies, everybody.
You okay?
Oh, no.
This was the best movie I think we've watched.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely the best of the screwball era.
Because that's exactly right. They really did play with the tone, and it almost always worked. I loved all the inside Heil Hitler and this and that. There was literally so many jokes in it, and jokes about, I think there were inside jokes about Jack Benny I probably didn't get.
Well, and they're mostly actor jokes,
Yeah. Don't go over the top. I love that whole thing. Don't go over the top. Like that. And also that the thing I most related to was that he didn't, the idea that you can't act, like you're worried about your acting. That's what I loved.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a perfect Kindler movie. It was a showbiz Nazi movie.
And every time, first of all, my attention to it never wavered. Yeah. But if it wavered at all, I'd perk up as soon as I'd see swastikas. Right. I'm telling you.
Sure.
It's like Hogan's Heroes was at a certain time.
Well, and it's funny how clearly Hogan's Heroes was highly informed by that movie.
Or the producers, I think, too.
I was about to say, and Mel Brooks, clearly you see.
I never knew that before.
Mel Brooks remade the movie pointlessly, but.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, with Anne Bancroft.
Oh.
But did it in black and white, and it's like, it wasn't better.
That's weird that he
It was kind of weird. But I understand sort of worshiping the movie.
Yeah.
And it's a weird movie. I mean, for those, let me just summarize quickly. It's a movie about a Polish acting troupe that starts just before the Nazi invasion of Poland, where the Polish acting troupe is actually rehearsing a Nazi satire this is 1939. It's set in 1939. The movie came out in 1942.
And that's the other thing that's amazing about it. It came out right in the middle of the war.
Right.
It didn't come out when we knew we were going to win the war.
And it got shit because of that, too.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool.
There were a lot of people who were offended by the movie.
You mean concentration camp? They called me concentration camp?
Well, I mean, this is it's a perfect thing for the current debate about the term concentration camp, because they used it in the movie quite a bit, but it was before anybody knew about the death camp aspect of concentration camps. They thought.
Well, some people did. In 1942? I don't know.
Not in 1942. Not until,
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
they knew that Jews were being rounded up and taken to concentration camps, but they thought they were labor camps and prisons, not extermination camps.
We did the concentrating and the Poles did the camping.
Which is why he felt he could make concentration camp jokes.
Oh, I thought it was just so fucking like they were just going to go there because of concentration camp. So that's interesting to know that it's informed by the fact that
the term did exist before.
Yes.
It came to mean just Nazis.
Sorry.
So the movie, I won't go into the plot of the movie, but essentially, it's them trying to escape from the Nazis. And there's lots of dressing up like Nazis and pretending to be Nazis. And what's so great about it over the other sort of farce kind of screwball comedies we've seen is that in this movie, all of the misunderstandings and things are driven by actual plot.
Yes.
There's actual plot driving the movie. It's not a third act of everyone standing around acting stupid until the movie ends.
I could follow the plot too very easily.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like an ADD
because you knew
thing.
because you knew if they were dressed like a Nazi and you knew them not as a Nazi.
Right. Figure it out.
Yeah. But no, and Jack Benny was great and Carole Lombard was great. It was her last movie before she died.
She's so great. I don't know enough about her movies, but she was unbelievable.
She was great, yeah.
And she hated Jack Benny.
And Robert Stack.
Who was Robert? Which one was Robert Stack?
Robert Stack was the young Polish pilot in love with her.
Oh, I didn't know that was him.
Yeah.
Wait, am I mixing him up with another Robert Stack, or was there a
Unsolved Mysteries? Robert Stack.
Is that another one? No, same guy.
The Untouchables. Robert Stack.
Oh, okay. And also, was Harry Morgan in one scene?
I didn't see Harry.
Oh, I
Morgan.
feel like someone, because I love this thing where he comes out and the guys. I never saw that where someone could feed you the lines to the Shakespeare.
Well, you've never seen the shell for the Q person at the foot of the stage? Yeah, no,
and I was
that
in
was
theater.
A standard theater.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's one of the great jokes in the movie.
It is such a great joke.
Jack Benny comes out just hamming up the silence doing Hamlet. And he comes out and he's very silent and he's very emotive silently. And the guy in the shell goes, "To be or not to be." And Benny does the greatest tiny take, fuck you, I know what but it's so tiny and great that.
And the lady tells the guy to leave, right? Isn't that what she says in the first scene? She tells him to leave as he starts his speech.
Yes.
Carole Lombard.
Yes.
So did I fuck something up? I thought she was planning to embarrass him that way.
No, she was just giving him a cue for when to come backstage because she knew he would be on stage.
Oh, I thought she was also giving it.
But that was the biggest running gag of the movie. Was there's a Polish Air Force flyer who's in love with Carole Lombard's character, who's the wife of Jack Benny's character. And he wants to meet her, and she tells him, well, when he starts to be or not to be soliloquy, come backstage so we can talk. So there's a running gag of him getting up at the beginning of To Be or Not to Be, and Jack Benny just slow burning as he watches this guy clumsily exit the theater during his big moment. So it's filled with actor jokes, which still hold up today.
Yeah, actor jokes that you don't feel like in some of those other movies, just like extra, like me being Groucho.
It's just the whole movie is a level smarter than most of the movies we've been watching lately,
And the fact that it was right is he next German? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
When did he come over from Ernst?
Yeah, I think he probably came over in the 20s, but I'm not certain.
Also all the jokes about. I didn't know that it was so aware of, because I always thought like Hitler's a vegetarian and it's like, right. It always seemed odd, but I didn't think they were talking about that then.
Well, no, but he was like, remember there was 6 years of Hitler being a world figure before he invaded Poland, so there were magazine articles and he wrote Mein Kampf and there,
But I thought the stuff about him being a vegetarian was like stuff we learned later, but obviously not.
Yeah.
Obviously not. And also, first of all, I don't get the joke, the cheese. Can you explain the cheese joke?
I can't, no. But I get, I get that it's a good device.
I love all the stuff where they're fake laughing and all, and the Heil Hitler where they just show this guy's horrible. But whenever they feel uncomfortable with each other and they're afraid that other person's going to turn them in, they put an extra Heil Hitler in there.
Right.
Who played Hitler? Schempp?
It wasn't Schempp. But
did it look like Schempp to you?
Kind of, a little. So we both recommend the movie.
Also, I want to say, the whole opening was, I thought, so brilliant. For some reason, it captivated me with, let's go back and see how this all started. Yeah. And and then Hitler decided he was going to walk around.
I also thought it was an interesting way, he introduced Poland with this almost completely American looking set, so that you're going, as an audience member, you're going, forget the fact we might as well just assume, treat these people like Americans,
Right.
They weren't playing the foreignness of Warsaw, they were playing it as if it is any town USA invaded by Nazis, kind of.
And they were also, I thought they were able to get serious, not in a,
it reminded me of MASH.
Right, right.
Where it had starkly serious shit, not a lot of it, but it went from screwball to serious and had plot drive it along. So, it was.
Whereas when he was talking about Bob, can you tell me about the guy, the Bobby? Was he Hitler? Was he
Bobby?
Bobby. It didn't have that you're laughing at it quality to it, right?
No, it did not have.
Can I tell you a couple of my highlights?
Sure.
I like the way they called them Nazis. I don't know, the Nazis. I don't know why they did that, but maybe it changed. Someone goes, do you want a blitzkrieg? No, I prefer a slow encirclement. Anyway, everything I write down looks
the
like
most famous
garbage.
line from it is one that I think offended people too, which is, yes, I saw him do Hamlet. What he did to Shakespeare, we are currently doing to Poland.
That's me. That is exactly what I would write. And the other thing that was me that really captured not me as a comedian, but me how I feel, was when that one scene where Jack Benny goes, "Are you kidding me?" When they first hear it's closed, and Jack Benny starts to yell at Hitler, but Hitler's not there. But he's yelling about Hitler.
Right.
That seemed like something I would do, where it's like there's an impotency to it. Right. Oh yeah, you know what he says about us, and then immediate fear.
Except you would end with, "He's right behind me, isn't he?"
All right, I think I hate to leave the fate of my country with someone who overacts so much. I think was that.
All right, don't. If you're not going to give them a real read, I don't need you to just mindlessly read your notes.
Let me ask you a question. Of the things that I do, what do you ever need?
That's true. It's true. I'll have to take an inventory during the break.
That's true. I think it's time for a break.
So we'll also, the other thing we'll do during the break is we'll decide on what next week's movie is from the Criterion channel, since you now are a member.
I love it. But I didn't bring.
I want to get away from the AFI screwball comedy list.
Yeah, they can kiss my ass.
We're about to get into 16 Preston Sturges movies and shit.
Yeah, so. I mean, come on, they're forcing us. Now, I didn't bring anything. What are we hearing in the break? I have a song, but I don't. Do I have it lined up?
I don't know.
I thought. Did I give you 3 songs?
No, you gave me 2.
Okay, so I could get another song tonight and send it to you if you wanted me to, or what would you prefer? I think it's been all me the last couple. Do something. Come on, Josh.
Well, I think that we should do your next song when we can actually listen to it together and talk about it.
Now it's true. Otherwise we're making it up.
I'm gonna go put on one of my wife's songs.
Yeah, beautiful. We haven't played an Allison song in a while.
No, I'm not sure what I'll do, but here it is.
I love when you create this anticipation.
Telling you his pain is real. A broken wing only you can heal. I bet he tells you how much I hurt him. He's probably saying he was left for dead, and put some sympathy in your head. He paints a picture. Love is so unfair. It's just his side. Sorry, one girl to another, it's the same old line. You'll find it's just his side of the story. I used to think I was his only one. Well, ain't that who he's always running from? Into the arms of another.
And we're back. Are we back?
We're back enough. Thanks, honey. Thanks for the song. Well, we're going to watch Yojimbo.
Yojimbo.
Akira
Kurosawa. Akira. Why don't you say it? I'll let you say it this time.
No, we got it.
I'll let you say it this time. Who lives in me? I can't be this awful. I think it's when I'm around other people. You think I'm okay when I'm alone?
I think when you're alone, you're perfect, except for that voice that tells you you're shit.
I laugh to cover up the crying and the trying.
The crying and the trying.
Ladies.
So, all right. Well, let's get to our questions, because I think there's a lot of them.
Hey, nobody says, let's get to our questions like you do.
Thank you. Thank you, Andy.
Oh, my jaw hurts. Oh, if I don't make it, by the way, folks, if I don't make it, if there's a chance I might not make it.
Did someone slip you their left as a convincer?
No, but I had this pain in my jaw, and I'm going in for the other thing. So I can...
Well, tell them to push a little farther up. Jim Meehan says...
Hi, Jim.
Says, with the passing of Mad Magazine, did Mad finally go under?
I don't understand this. I saw people go, rest in peace, Mad Magazine. Is it possible?
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, they tried that reboot with the young kid staff.
Well, Dan Telfer, I know he's a good kid. He's a funny kid. And he even said, Andy, you want to write something? And I said, I'll be right back to you. And you know what I wrote? Star Black.
Well, that's his question. Are there any movies or TV shows that you remember by the title of the Mad spoof?
I think Star Black.
Star Black. A crock of blip now. It was like supposed to be a crock of shit now, but they put blip in front of it.
Was that a movie?
Apocalypse Now.
Oh my God. That's bad. Wow. That is real bad. I can't even remember one more. But is the question, what will we do? Who will fill that role?
No. The question was there any movie or TV show that you remember by its spoof name?
Let me think. Oh, I think it was Star Trek.
Yeah.
And you remember nothing. Mission Possible?
I don't remember if mine are real or ones I'm just faking.
You came up with yourself. Well, come up with one that you think could be real, or come up with a fake one. Why am I pressuring you? Do whatever you want.
Laverne and Shirley.
Did they do TV? Yeah, they did TV shows too.
Of course.
Starchy. They did Starchy, but that was actually back in the early days.
Yellen. Not Ellen.
Oh.
All right. So we don't remember that many.
I know, but it really happened. I thought someone
sad.
was
that
just...
That is sad, I guess.
It is sad.
But it kind of,
Yeah, it wasn't...
The writing was on the wall. They hadn't even Cracked made the move to Onlineville more smoothly than Mad did.
Yeah. Well, things can't continue forever. Like many people have said about my career.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Chris Olson says, hey guys, just wondering what you would like to go to town on. P.S. I apologize for failing to get close enough to Trump to throw a cement milkshake at him while he was in Osaka.
It is pretty funny, though, when they go too far down the road of violence never matters. And the violence is never appropriate ever. Right?
Right.
And then, how about Nelson Mandela and the African National Congress? What if violence is necessary? And I'm not saying, look, we live in the United States. There's nothing we can do. The only kind of revolution we can have is a fakey one, like Bernie Sanders.
I saw some Republican on TV going, it's very clear that Democrats hate Trump more than they love this country. And I was like, that might be true on my part. It might be true. And I love the shit out of this country.
I don't understand the American flag sneaker thing, or is this just too long to get into? I don't really get it.
I think it was, this was my very peripheral viewing of it.
Okay.
Nike put out a Betsy Ross sneaker or something with that original 13-star flag.
Okay.
Colin Kaepernick, their paid consultant now.
He's one of their... Okay.
Yeah, they put him on the payroll for big money.
Right. Well, I'm glad they did, because he football
felt that flag represented, I assume he felt it represented an America that wasn't right, didn't represent all people. So Nike decided to not offer that shoe.
And what do you think?
I mean, I think I think. Well, my first thought is I don't give a shit, but clearly, but it's going to be funny to watch.
People go nuts.
A bunch of right-wing idiots.
I love the right-wing idiots when they go nuts. I will never buy another Nike.
Yeah. It's like everyone who's already 4 times threatened to boycott Nike is going to threaten to boycott Nike now.
And then that will make me want to buy Nike more.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't really care what
Nike knows that.
Oh. I didn't even think about that. Controversy. Are you telling me the controversy sells?
I'm not. I'm saying that Nike knows who buys their shoes.
That's true. I was having this feeling I think I told you this already, that if I wasn't a stand-up comedian and I just started like with this, that I would end up being a funny voice guy.
Well, a voice guy. Perush says people who are raving about Andy Kindler's vibrato should revisit Test Show 29. A lot of singing. Chestnut, brown canary, ruby-throated sparrow.
Chestnut.
No.
Okay.
Chestnut, brown canary, ruby-throated sparrow.
Hoo, 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 hoo. Thrill me to the marrow. I love David Crosby. I love following him. And I keep hoping he's going to remember that I was on Ellen with him. So I keep going in there and he's nothing.
Well, you could be like Frank Conniff, who mentions that David Crosby came to his birthday party anytime David Crosby comes up in any media.
How did David Crosby? Oh, because he's friends with him.
It happened through the show he was on, the Sirius show with Fugelsang.
Blueberry Surface Arrow, sing the song.
Brian Ogilvy says Joseph Mengele has a board game night.
He does?
How does the first confrontation start? Well, you insolent Jew, you are not taking the Kamchatka Peninsula from me.
But I was just trying...
You will not take the Kamchatka Peninsula from me.
Mr. Mengele.
I am Dr. Joseph Mengele, and if there's world domination at hand, it's for me to do.
Bobby.
And then Bobby! How are you? We're just playing some Risk. Come in, Bobby. What a good boy. Oh, Bobby. Come watch me take the Kamchatka Peninsula from this insolent Jew.
Bobby.
This trouble has Pop-O-Matic Bobby.
I'm Joseph Mengele. I'm Joseph Mengele.
Jordy says troubling Test Show 112 comedy break to hear Andy Kindler getting big laughs at our expense, performing his podcast listeners are like this chunk throughout North America. How long has this been going on?
Is he talking about from my act?
And then he made a little gif from the trailer of the movie of me glancing at you and then you drinking a beer.
That, I think, is some of my best. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Jordy. I love that. Because a lot of people say I don't naturally drink beer.
We've been jiffed.
You just got jiffed. Gift.
Jiff.
Jiff.
It's a jiff.
I'm not going to argue with you, but it is a jiff.
Yes.
I think I'm going nuts.
Tweet Bahara.
Tweet, twiddly-deed, twiddly-deed.
I'm riding around in Perush's Lyft, and we're both laughing uproariously at Test Show 112.
Oh, that is so cool. What do you mean Perush's Lyft?
Because there was a reference last week to him calling Perush a Lyft driver, or someone saying, you said he was a Lyft driver.
Oh, I almost...
and I busted you for it. That's what happened.
That's what it was. You remember things from the show? You must have edited it.
Only because I listened to the second time.
I got into a DM, not an argument with Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi Yamamoto? But at one point, he goes, are you saying I'm slamming Obama? I said, no, I'm not saying that. I don't know what I'm saying, really, when I get upset. Yoshi's got an edge to him.
But...
You don't want to come up against
I
that
said,
edge.
I love you, Yoshi, at the end of the whole thing.
Okay, that's good.
And I gave him 3...
Took the edge right off.
I gave him 3 tickets to the Illinois game.
Beautiful. Tweet Bahara also says, so do we think Dennis Miller generally ripped off Belzer? I think there's a little bit. I think there's some crossover in the Zen Venn diagram.
I would like to think now that he did, because I can't stand him.
There's a little bit, babe. Hey. I think there's a babe and church, and the babe and the church. But
look, Kaka.
The guttural trail off is most definitely the Bells, babe.
The Bells. And also the Bells is a good person, and Dennis Miller.
But the Bells cut his teeth as a crowd rap attitude guy at Catch a Rising
And he
Star.
was unbelievable. I saw him there, and he was unbelievable. He was the best in the world at that. And Mike Sweeney was also good.
So it wasn't ever, it wasn't as deliberately crafted. Belzer at his best, I think, was probably those days.
Yeah, and also he's a great actor.
He's fine. Yeah.
And he invited me to the south of France.
Really?
And then let me how awesome! You said somebody drops a name. How do they drop it? Oh, Frank does. He was at my house with David Crosby. Shut up. Oh, by the way, Bill Cosby wants everybody to know happy graduation.
Yes, America's dad.
America's dad.
Luke Hawley says, I don't want to correct you on your own show, but my inner nerdy blowhard is calling. I'm pretty sure Paul Feig said Sam in Freaks and Geeks was named Weir because Weir rhymes with queer, and when Paul was a kid, bullies called him Paul Fag. But I love the dead and hope it's related. You know what? I don't think that I went out on the absolutism limb when I said that he probably named him after Bob Weir.
Right.
But my guess was he knew about that Bob Weir would be factored in when he named him. But I also believe Paul's queer explanation as well.
But he did. But he did do. Paul Feig did used to do the bit about his last name and all the kids who go Feig's a fag, Feig's a fag.
Yeah.
I don't know what that gains.
All right. Tommy Barcanero says, do you have any tips for training a puppy? My wife and I just welcomed a 2-month-old mini Australian Shepherd into our family, and we welcome any and all advice, especially for how to get the puppy to adjust to sleeping in a crate.
Well, that's got to be you.
The crate thing is, I found one with Larry, who we crate trained, is just bring the crate into your bedroom. Get the crate as close to you as he can be, and they'll calm down. At least with the case with Larry, and he might have been part Australian Shepherd. He was definitely he was a Corgi Shepherd mix for sure. So we found once we brought the crate into our bedroom, he calmed down and would sleep in there.
Oh, because otherwise,
and then eventually it becomes a place where they kind of want to be.
Cool.
It becomes their secure place, but it takes a while of sort of forcing them in there. But eventually it becomes a good retreat for them. And so it's a place where, when you go out, you can put them in the crate and they know that's part of the routine.
Cool. I'm for it.
And from what I hear about Australian Shepherds, it's just get them all the exercise you can.
Because they run around?
They're smart and they're energetic and they need a job to do.
Ah. I'm really
so I had a lot of blowhardy in me for that.
That's what they were. They asked you, and you have the expertise. True, it's not like I go, well, perhaps.
But I got very authoritative. But you said, any real
but you weren't
authority.
Like, let me explain a little bit about the collective bargaining system.
You see, the Australian Shepherd is descended directly from the.
We'll never be able to recapture the moment of me realizing and you catching me mid blowhardy. I'll never get. That was like a once in a lifetime thing. Where I could see it was almost like I was floating above my own body.
Yeah, and I had no patience.
Well, Kurt Flood. Also, you also knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Terry Caulfield says, will either of you be purchasing a new television, mattress, or automobile this 4th of July weekend? I hear the savings are patriotically spicy.
They're out of control. I do need to get a new car. When's the best time to get a new car? I'm just asking that because I think we need one soon.
Really?
Yeah, is there a better time of the year?
Into the fall is good because then you have the sort of choice of model years. Sometimes they're trying to get rid of the 2019s to make room.
You're saying it like a salesman, but I think you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And go towards the end of the month too, because if they're having a bad month, they're a little more willing to move.
Because I think the interest rates could be low.
Not like you're going to negotiate.
No. That last time.
Is it pricey? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Peru says, what's your favorite California small town? Go. Huell-Hauser style?
I can't believe... Oh, it's you.
I like Yucaipa. It's great to be here in Yucaipa.
I like Ojai.
Ojai. It's the friendliest place in California.
I like Bakery.
Everyone says Ojai.
So this place is called Bakersfield?
So do you bake? Does everyone make bread here? That's amazing.
It's amazing. Muscle Shoals.
That's not California.
There is like a Muscle something, right? No.
I don't know.
Near Santa Barbara.
There's Pismo Beach, the clam capital of America.
You know what it's named after? Bobby Pismo.
Really?
Oh, my God. Someone kill me. I don't mean that, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I got to make a phone call. Seth Dobson says, in honor of Canada Day, who's your favorite Canadian stand-up that you've worked with and why? I know who yours is.
Martin Short? Who is it?
No, I was going to go Mike.
Brent Butt?
I was going to go Mike McDonald.
I love, it's so hard to choose because I love all the Canadian people. Brent Butt, I love him. And I love, but stand-ups. Why am I saying it like an idiot?
I don't know.
Just kill me. But I think normally my mind goes to like SCTV and those shows because
Norm Macdonald?
He's great. These are very hard questions to answer. First of all, Deanne Smith is great,
okay.
But that's a current crop of people.
That's okay.
Yeah, Deanne Smith is unbelievably great.
All right, to get this.
And Deanne, you better listen to the show because otherwise, what's the point of me?
Exactly.
What's that sound?
That's you
Kissing up?
Sure, or kissing laterally. Television Savalas says, "Hey, dudes,
I love that name.
I got a good subject for Andy's State of the Industry address. The proliferation of festivals and the bizarre lineups they produce. Can Maria Bamford follow Cat Williams at Lumberjack Northwestern Ohio Fest? We'll find out."
I kind of like that, but I don't know if it's true enough to do a bit about. What's the matter? I have no bits, like I have too many bits. What's your take on it?
We'll take it into consideration.
Oh!
But I think you did a good job of giving it an Andy Kindler
That's
cadence.
a flair, yeah.
So points for that, Television Savalas, along with your name.
What have you become?
I've become
That's not you.
A shell of a former human.
I'm really sick of where they go, that's not us, or I don't like we're better than this. I hate all that.
Yeah.
Does it bother you too? We're better than this. We're not, if we're saying that.
Right.
We could be better.
We should aspire to be better. How about that? Will that salve your problem?
Did you say salve?
I did. Is that going to bother you now?
Well, I like it. It's funny. I thought you died. I swear to God, I thought you might have died.
Adam Nikolic says, bumper stickers, puns or political statements? Some of each.
What do you mean? Well, the worst bumper stickers, I've always said, was Ayatollah Assahola.
Yeah.
Right. And then what else? You mean, do you like them?
And then,
which do you prefer?
Isn't that when I gave you the Saddam Insane T-shirts joke when you did the Ayatollah Assahola?
Well, the ones that still are amazing are the ones where they say, "Hey, if you don't let me grope you, don't get in the car." You know, ass, gas, or grass. They have that one.
You really boiled it down.
What are those people who are are into Hemis, and explain to me why they are people and why that's a thing?
There are certain people who appreciate vroom.
So what is it? Is it more power?
It's a big engine that makes your car go vroom. And it gives you a little bit of butter, 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 and then a little, come drive me, butter, 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 butter.
You have sunk to the lowest level.
I've sunk to the tiredest level of the show.
Well, is it? I mean, how many questions? Sorry.
There's no questions. Just let me keep going.
Just go.
Michelle Grimbledon says, I just had a dream that I ran into the two of you at a movie premiere. Well, right there, we know it's a dream. Do you believe that dreams have deep meanings, or are they just weird things our brains do? I don't think necessarily they have deep meanings, but I think a lot, I think, what I think the brain does, this is my theory, this is not based on any scientific fact whatsoever, but it feels like the brain likes to tell stories. Like, stories is a way that it processes anxiety and other feelings.
Right.
And then out of a need to cast people in those stories, it will just sometimes go into random casting mode in your memory banks and just put a face on somebody.
Yeah.
Just so it can keep moving,
I think, I think it really depends. I think sometimes they do have deep meanings, but it's hard to prove on those things. They definitely reflect problem. Like I have worry dreams, so they reflect issues I have.
Sure. That was another joke I tried the other night. Was talking, it's not even really a joke yet, but who knows, because it was two people. But I was talking about that Yesterday movie, and so McCartney said that was a song that came to him in a dream.
Oh yeah,
that melody came to him in a dream, and I was like, I never have jokes come to me in a dream. Once in a while I do, but they aren't that useful. It'll be like, don't you hate it when you're walking naked through your high school and you're late for a final for a class you didn't actually show up to the whole semester, and then your taxes are due?
Well, that's when the people say a website is just a dream without an idea, something like that.
I don't know.
No, they go, the website is just a dream. I'm sorry. I had a joke similar to that, but I never did it. But the idea was like, they go, a website is just...
Oh, you're getting to the fact that I stole
not that
joke
you stole.
never did.
Not that you stole. I don't like to use the word stole. What I like to say...
I had this notion. I'm going to retroactively protect it.
Yeah, because I realized part of the problem was, if it was so great, why haven't I been doing it?
Yeah, well, that's why. I just told you the joke that comes out of it, and it's no good. Shiftless Element says, Happy Independence Day. Kindler, Weinstein, 2020. Campaign slogan, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask, is it spicy?
I think Is It Spicy is going to be our ticket to the politics, big time.
Tim Jackson says, be careful who you talk about this week, guys. You might have killed Artie Johnson.
I know. And I actually was thinking more about it. I actually said to myself, nice going. I'm edgy.
I did it. I'm glad.
I'm edgy. Artie Johnson's dead. Boo. Boo to him. Boo to old people who die. Tough luck. Tough luck, old people.
Way to go, Pontius Kindler. Michelle Weiscarver.
I love Michelle Weiscarver. I love her profile pic. I love the things she does. Hoo, 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 hoo.
All right. Michelle's got herself a theme song. Your metalhead friend has a weird question. What are your thoughts on life after death? Do you think spirits, visitations of the dead are a possibility? Or are such experiences coincidence and or tricks of the mind, wishful thinking?
I believe when there's money, when people are making money, like the psychics, I don't believe anything that they say. But I think many, many things are possible. And I do believe there's life after death, but I can't prove it. I think I think we never go away. This can't be it.
Yeah.
You can tell me this is it? Thank you, then.
I don't have a fine point. Like, I feel like the finer point on it you put on it, the more bullshit it is. The rules of traditional heaven don't really hold up.
No, that doesn't. That's not good.
It's like,
that's not good.
How many fucking dogs do I have to have in heaven? Because if they're all coming back, we're going to have a problem. And that's just superficial problems. But, so I don't believe we all meet in heaven and it's earth, but with cloud floor.
That's the way I think of it, though, right? Whenever I think of that, you go through the clouds.
I don't believe we retain our individuality after death. I believe there is probably some sort of universal energy that we are all tapping in and out of, kind of. But I don't believe that our individual egos survive death.
And I'll go you one step further. And I believe that our individual egos could be an illusion, a way of seeing the world. So that part of me believes consciousness is all that if there's no consciousness, there's no life. And that doesn't mean the little brain. It means the whole thing. But I know what you're saying. When you're dead, you don't go, okie dokie, what's next? That doesn't sound right to me.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't remember when I haven't been here. So that's why I think we're always here. But you're going to go, but I won't remember Andy Kindler. But that's because it's an illusion, Andy Kindler. This is where I start bullshitting big time.
Yeah.
Did anything I say make you feel like punching me.
I found Andy Kindler as an illusion to be very comforting.
Why do I love to be made fun of? I love whenever the joke is.
I don't know, but it works out well because I kind of love doing it.
Yeah, because it's whenever the point of the joke is that I'm a useless bag of shit. I like it.
Yeah, well, see, I know that joke will always ring true with you. so it's a kind of a winner.
Do I have to actually, I'm starved now. Do I have to actually finish by midnight? What would you think I have to do? Tomorrow's or when I go to sleep tonight. Don't cheat it, you're saying, right?
No, I think you can.
Till 1 o'clock.
Have a light snack when you get home. Otherwise, you're just going to feel deprived and wake up.
I will. I'm already thinking of pretzels.
Right, you'll wake up panicked because you didn't have.
I didn't have enough food.
Right, exactly. So I say, push it all back an hour or two.
More pot smoking tomorrow or less?
I would not start with it.
Okay.
I would wait and see how it kicks in.
Yeah.
Because then you can use it to alleviate symptoms.
You are
if
the
there's
best.
Cramps or something.
You're my doctor.
As opposed to having it be your baseline.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. So we went from metaphysical to shit again. So it's time to move on.
I do believe that we're here forever. I know. I have an optimistic. Boom.
Greg Kelly says, I was in the hot sun in Cincinnati for too long, and I recalled that James Mason played the station owner in the pilot of WKRP in Cincinnati.
I didn't know. Is that true?
It was very, very
in the pilot, but they didn't go to series?
Yes, I believe I remember playing that. I was the former station owner, and I handed it over to Mr. Carlson's mother, by Gordon Jump, in fact. And I remember we were in more of a talk format, and then they went to that jungle music with Dr. Johnny Fever, and I had to sell the station. It wasn't my style. It wasn't classy.
Do you know something else I'm thinking?
What?
There is a thing that I was told about this last week where
What's
people
that?
pay $1,000 or they pay $500 for someone to a birthday message.
Happy birthday from James
This
Mason.
is what we got to start doing. I mean, the listeners, sure.
Another year? Oh, no. Another year of experience is how I see it. Happy birthday.
How about Mr. Potter? How would he wish someone a happy birthday?
You were once a young man, but now you're just old and warped and frustrated, just like me. Happy birthday! In jail.
You made a face like a goofy DJ.
You gotta do the face to do the fucking impression. I'm sorry. I just heard today Lionel Barrymore telling a story about fucking taking a bear to a hotel room.
Was he a drinker?
Yeah, so I had this bear, and I put it in the elevator. He says, you can't come here. I said, just take us upstairs. Chaotic Neutral says, all of my other favorite podcasts have an opinion about what a giant sponge I should sleep on or who should send me raw food in the mail. Do either of you have an irrational hatred of the post office?
Well, the main thing is, again, and this is very popular, is how many that people who have podcasts or listen to podcasts, they don't have time to employ people in their companies.
Right.
They have to get like a ZipRecruiter.
Exactly, because they're podcasting all the time.
And it's so popular.
Justin Faulkner says, gentlemen, heard you might need some show fodder. Dylan's Blood on the Tracks, official release versus original New York City version. Which do you prefer?
I don't know the difference.
I'm New York City all the way.
What's my favorite? I have to check him out.
Well, it was like half. The actual album was like half and half. He had recorded the whole thing.
I don't know the story behind this.
Well, I know it just because it's a Minneapolis story. Is he had recorded the whole album, Blood on the Tracks, in New York, and it was the stripped down sound that half the album is, and played it, I guess, for his brother or something. And he said, you need to. The whole album is too down like that. So they recorded like half the tracks. They re-recorded like half the tracks with the full band in Minneapolis at a place called Sound 80, which was sort of famous for being the place Dylan did part of Blood on the Tracks, which is how I know it. So like half the album is Minneapolis tracks with a band, and half is the more pared down stuff from New York. but there is a version of there's a bootleg version of the All New York one.
Ah, I'd like to hear it.
I actually knew a guy who played bass. Billy Peterson played bass on
Blood in the Tracks?
Yeah.
Early one morning, the sun was shining. I was laying in bed. Must be a great musician if he's on that album.
Yeah, I think he was a very spur of the moment. Throw them all together.
That's so cool. That is, I think, my favorite album.
So I can't say I like the New York City version better because I gotta be a homie.
Yeah, with the sound. Is it called Sound 80?
Sound 80, I believe it was called. I think it still exists as a company.
I used to have M80s when I was a kid.
Interesting side note. All right, Yoshi has a 3-parter here. Let's see. Yoshi Yamamoto. Before my serious trial expired, I caught part of Nikki Glazer's show on the day Fitzsimmons was a guest, and they were talking about using past relationship slights as career motivation. Things like fantasizing about an ex, seeing you for the first time on TV, etc. So Nikki says she let that go, but for years she held a deep grudge. She mentions an open micer in Kansas City she fell in love with, none other than Pete Lee. She was head over heels and thought they were going to move into another city together, but Pete reconciled with his ex-girlfriend, who he later married and is now divorced from. So when Nikki got her first Comedy Central show, it was sticking it to him. Josh, did you know this?
I didn't know that.
I knew there was a thing with him and Nikki Glazer, and I think they're good friends now. I think they're genuinely good friends now.
I can't imagine anybody being
but
angry.
I do vaguely remember that there was some relationship.
I find it hard to believe anybody would move to a city for Pete Lee. I'm kidding.
But that wife, who he divorced, is the wife that appears in my movie. I Need You to Kill.
And I was, and that I didn't know.
There you go.
I thought they were still married. It's hard to stay married to Pete Lee because he's all over the map.
Exactly.
I like Nikki Glazer, and I would have dated either one of them, Pete Lee or Nikki Glazer.
Yoshi is filling us in with Andy's bit that this emailer from Test Show 112 heard Patton Oswalt reference on Conan's podcast is the one about 80s sitcoms where the 3-year-old kid suspiciously sounds like a 51-year-old comedy writer. What am I, the Lindbergh baby?
What are these, the Eisenhower years? Is that the joke Patton referenced?
Yes.
I want to listen to. I heard Conan's podcast is great. I haven't heard it.
That's the title of it, isn't it? I heard Conan's podcast is great.
Yeah. I'm so busy listening to ours and, playing around with voice workshops.
Sure. Jennifer Hansen wants you to know she has tickets to see you blow Hardy in person at Acme.
Jennifer Hansen, now, she's not related to Scott Hansen, right? But I know her.
No, because she has an O instead of an E.
I think she's a comic. I know her from before. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Is this useless because it's coming out afterwards?
I don't know. It's not useless if she listens to the show.
When is this coming out? Next Monday?
Yeah. So Andy's at Acme this week.
Please come.
Please come see Andy at Acme Comedy Company.
Oh, Monday, Tuesday. I see how it works now.
Yes.
Can you tell I'm getting tired?
I can tell you're getting tired.
But you must be even more.
I think that's all of our tweets.
You know what? We can't. I love when you just stop it on a dime. What do you have to? We have to prove.
Exactly.
And if we didn't answer your question, please, you know what I'm saying?
Ask it again to someone else. Someone will answer it.
Happy birthday, Joan Kindler.
Happy birthday, Joan Kindler.
Bobby,
that would be $50. Thank you.
All I can think of is I want to go and get.
I'm sorry to hear about your Parkinson's.
My mother has Parkinson's.
Now, before we go, please pre-order J. Elvis Weinstein's Chunks.
I didn't know Mengele was a big fan of yours.
That's not Mengele.
Oh, that's not Mengele?
No. We're pulling the plug, Mengele. You can't pull the plug. We're pulling the plug. We're taking away your equipment. You will not take away my equipment, you insolent Jew. I'm not Jewish. You're confused.
How about when he said, how did he get his job? He's Goring's brother-in-law. That was a good line. And so...
So pre-order Chunks. It comes out on Friday the 12th. And we'll call it a day, shall we?
Thank you. And I want to thank you, Josh, for being so nice about me being late tonight and for doing the show tonight. And I love you.
And I love you. Mm-hmm.